Hi everyone. Today we're going to learn about the table view techniques, how we can download the JSON data. And JSON data usually a number of rows in a table. So we're going to list the JSON data on a table view. So we'll first to launch Xcode. Let's see. Let's see what we will do. The launch Xcode. Okay, create new project and app. The interface, storyboard, language, Swift. We're not going to use core data, so we don't need to do. Product name, I would say sensor data in table view. Create. Okay. So to view control here, and let's make a storyboard first. Holding down Option key and plus sign, so that we can have this the library with us. So first thing that we need to do is to this button, and then we can bring up the utility pane where there is a button. We can say list sensor list users of sensors. List users of sensor. Okay. Background, I put to say, oh, this is the foreground. So where is the background? Probably here. So we have background here. Background blue and foreground white. White color. Okay, list user sensors. Okay. And I would like to have also, let's say, text field. And then label. And then last name. copy of those. And say first for the first name and another button. And bring that here. Sensor data. And again, background orange and foreground say black. Okay. Let's say this is what I want to do is if I click this, then in the another, let's say second view, then it can bring up a list of the users. Okay, so let's try that all here. So here again, view controller. So if we bring that view controller here and make this a little smaller. Okay. This guy will list so basically from here, if I click this, then this view, I would say this is a second view. Second view is to display the each users who posted their sensor data, and what in each row in this table. But actually, on this view, we are going to use a table view. So table view may be listed from here to there, and in the table view. Inside the table view, there is a table view cell. As you can see here, this is a table view outside this container. That container contains table view, which is inside. Okay, so if there are 10 the people posted their sensor data, then it lists the 10 people of those. In this table view, as you can see here, basically table view is the vertical scrolling. It can scroll it, right? Right. And then this is a table view cell, which is here inside of this. Table view cell needs to be also, we can organize multiple items. Those items that we can see here, label. First of all, we can display here the label. Let's say list of names who posted their sensor data. We can display that way. It's a long list. The same thing we can have here, background, this, and foreground. Okay, that'll be fine. And here in this table view cell, we can also display the label, say last name, last name, and then in this real label we can name here. This is a label, this is a container. This is a simply label, and from the data that we download from the server will fit in this place, and then we can make this again copy and paste a little bit down here, and this could be the first name, and then same label. And we can have also, oops, it should be here. Yeah, copy and paste. This could be number of sensor data posted. And I would put this label maybe in another color. Here color, this is sensor color. Okay. All right. So this is the second view, and third table, the view controller. I would put that here. Okay. So as you can see here, we have first view controller, second view controller, and third view controllers. Okay. Each view controller, the first view here, there is a Swift file, which is by default a view controller. And from the second ones, we didn't create the file yet. So we have to create a Swift file that should connect those, the view and Swift file should be connected together. So each of this view, they should have a Swift file sitting behind one or more Swift files. Okay, that's possible. So here also we need to have table view. So what we will do here, if one of this row is clicked, then detailed sensor data will be displayed here, right? So first label, we'll say here two of the labels. I want to make a copy and paste. So this will be first name and second name. Let's say, yeah, first name and second name. First name and last name will listed here. And for this particular person, because if I click this, then that is for this guy. If this guy has 3 sensor data posted, then those 3 detailed sensor data will be listed here. Okay, so rather than saying this, I'll just say here are detailed sensor data 4. So that will be listed here, and these 2 guys. Only this guy. And also table view should be listed this entire area. And then there is a table view cells as well. A little bigger. Okay. And the idea here, if I click this, then this second view controller needs to be displayed. So I need to make a segue. So holding down control button and click the next second view controllers, and then click show here. And again, from this cell, because this is not easy to click any specific things, what I want to click here is this cell for cell only. So this itself is the entire table view, which contains table view cell, right? This is table view cell. If I see, I want to close this. Not sure if I can show this. Yeah, this is the table view cell, right? From this table view cell of this second view. Third view has also table view cell. This is a third view. So what I want to do here, if I click this table view cell, holding down from here to here, and then show, then there is also table view cells, right? So I want to pass this a little bit down here. I'm going to play this here. Okay. So that is the organization of views, right? So if I want to see, no, let me just check here. iPhone 15 Pro. So if I click list users sensor, then it goes to next, which is a list of the names who posted their sensor data. So it'll be listed. And if I click any of these, then it goes to the third ones, because we do not have any cell yet, so nothing that we can do that, right? And also, oops, here what I need to do is I need to have here editor, built-in, and navigator controllers. So we need to have navigator controllers. Okay, in this way, this will be a little better way that we can display. So if you click this, go there, and there's a back button that can come back. And any one of these, right now we do not have a cell. When I click a specific cell, then it goes to the third views. Okay, this guy, if I give any specific sensor data, then it should go, by the way, that I'm going to say here, if I click this, then it goes to directly here, show. Okay, that's what we can do. Okay, so that may make sense more. If it goes to this, then go there, back, and if I click, when I enter the data, last name and first name, and it goes, this sensor data will display the sensor data that is posted by this specific last name and first name. So it goes to this detailed sensor data for first name and last name, which is the same as when I have here the list of the names. When I click any specific user, the row, then it goes to this third view controllers. Okay, that's what we will do. So back here, Now we need to name the segue here. Identifier of this segue, then I can say segue sensor users. Okay, users. And when I click this, then it's the segue data. This segue is called the segue user to data, U2D. Okay, so I have the ID for each segues. So far so good, and then we need to do here create tables, right? The Swift files. So come back here, user file, create the Swift file, and I would say this is a list of list users sensor, and then we can say VC is a view controller, and create, and that should be also UI kit, and then we can say class, and then name of the class should be list users view controller, and that is a UI view or controller. And by default, view did load. This is a method that needs to be entered. The first thing that we have to do when this view is first loaded, that we need to implement it in this code. There we need to first inherit if there is any function already defined in the superclass. Superclass is this UI view controller. This is the subclass. So from this superclass, I want to bring this. Okay, hit enter. That is made. Okay, back here again. This guy needs also the Swift code. So same thing here. Then we can say list data. List detailed data and view controller VC. So we have a view controller here, list user view sensor, and detailed data view controllers. Same thing here. If I want to copy the similar things from there, then we need to put here new ones on the left side. User sensor view controller on the right hand side of that. So I want to copy this whole thing here. Okay, only I need to change this. This should be list detailed data VC. Okay, so back here main storyboard. Then if I click this, then I can see the class, Swift class sitting behind this view is view controller. This guy, the class is not defined yet, but we actually defined the class itself. See if we have any class that we can list. So here, if we will see here, list users sensor view controller, right? That is that one. So that is chosen. If I click this, this is the detailed sensor data. So we need to connect this view to that Swift class files. So that is list detailed data view. That is that. All right. So far so good. And now we need to. Each view has the Swift class itself, right? But we do not yet. We do not yet connect each component there. For example, here right hand side the view controller, left hand side that, then each component here, if we want to use any of this, then this component needs to be identified, needs to be known by this code itself, right? So we have to connect this view controller. Any view controller that we want to use in codings needs to be connected. So first, this button, when this button clicked, then it displays the users who posted the sensor data, right, in the second view controllers. To do that, this button needs to be connected here, and then we can say that is an action. It's fine. So btn, that is a button, and then we can say list users. List users sense. So that the button is there, and then this is a text field, right? Text, last name and first name should be taken from this text field. So we need to use that as a variable. So text field, short tf, and then last, and then there is outlet. It's not actions. So connect. Same thing here. First name. If you have that mistakes, then usually what you need to do here first, okay, this, yeah, you need to drag and drop this. This is that, this is the first, this is that, last, this is TF. So drag and drop from here, there. This is much better, right? So that we have here TF and first. So as you can see here, these two are already connected. This, yeah, we need to have another button. This button is here. That's the same button, right? So holding down control and drag and drop here. And that is an action. And btn, we can say detailed data. Connect. So this is fine. We'll do I think of step by step. So so when this button is clicked, then it goes there, right? So in order to do that, here list user sense, we don't need to do anything, but this detailed data, then we need to take user input from this text field, right? So I think we can have here variable first name, string, and then initialized with that. Variable last name, type is a string, and initialize. And when these two values are entered, if the sensor data button is clicked, then we can take that data here. So self dot first name can be assigned from tf first dot text. Similarly, self dot last name should be taken from the last and dot text. This guy wants to see if that is explicit data, so that we can here. Data should be entered, not optionally, but absolutely. The question, exclamation mark. So those two things there. And the first thing first, when this guy is collected, then we need to here prepare for and sender. That function is activated, and it has UI storyboard segue. So based upon segue, remember that here, depending upon the clicking this button or that button, we have different segue to go, right? So on this code, we need to say here, if this UI storyboard, there is a variable, for is the external variable, this is a segue is a local variable. So we need to use this local variable. So segue, this is segue. If segue identifier is the same as, if that segue is this segue, right? So we can get it from, let me make this a little bigger. And when I click this, then I can see the ID, right? That is SG users. So that I can say here, SG segue users. Make sure that is SG users. So if segue variable here is identified by this ID, then it goes to that way, right? So we can say, in this case, if it is the case, then we need to say let second VC equals segue dot destination, that is nothing but this guy. There's nothing but list users sensor VC, right? There's nothing but list users sensor VC. We said if this segue is clicked, then there is nothing but it should go to this second view. The name of second view is list user sensor VC. That's what we defined there, right? So when this clicked, then we can simply, we don't need to do anything, right? We simply right, we didn't do, simply go there and right. If the other case, let's say if segue dot identifier equals something else means if this button is clicked, which is through this segue, then identifier is SG data. So we need to say here SG data. In that case, then we can simply say again, let, that is the third VC equals segue dot destination, which is nothing but that third the view controllers, right? So list detailed. So in this case, list detailed the VC. And then we, in this case, we have to read these two guys and send over this, and then we need to fill in here the first name and last name should be carried over to the third table view. That's what we want to do. Right now we didn't do anything here, these two tables, the second view and third views yet, so we need to work on that. Okay, for example, here are third view, second views, then we need to bring the second view here. This is a user sensor VC, and to see if we can connect here, what do we need to do? We need to connect this guy, entire table view, that should be in here, so that we can say that is a table view and users sensor, table view users sensor. Okay, and then this table view cell itself here, it can be created as a separate table, or we can create that here within this class. We can say table view cell. We can say table view. We can say table view cell class, and that is nothing but UI table view cell. This can be a separate table, still with that we can use. We can practice this, the separate tables definition, the similar, the cell class that can be defined in the separate table, or in this case that can be defined in the same file as container. This is a container, this is a cell, right? And this guy, each of this needs to be connected here, otherwise this guy cannot understand, right? So this guy, which is nothing but here, okay, so control, holding down control button and drag and drop here. It's not yet connected. So what we need to do here, this is a cell, right? This is table cell. Table cell needs to be this table cell should be in the class TV view cell class. So we need to say that. That way, that is this. And some other cases we need to use that the identifier. So we can say here ID for cell. So we can say cell ID, CID is for table view, cell ID for table view. Okay. So that is an very intelligently, when I enter the identifier is identify here replaced the graphical component's name here. Remember that here the view cell, where is it, the other ones? Yeah, if we see here, this is a view cell, table view cell. Originally it says table view cells, but when I make this ID and then identifier, it was automatically changed, which is good. So that's what we want to use. So I want to close this. By this time, this guy may understand, so that I can, hopefully, holding down control button and drag and drop. Now this guy can understand, right? So here I would say this is a label, last name, label, and this is again holding down control, and therefore we have label, first name, and this is the number of data, right? So here label, number of data. numd. Okay. This guy is a list user sensor VC, right? This list user sensor VC is not just a subclass to this UIV controller, but that should be the subclass of UI table view. Table view. Like here, we have a table view cell. This guy is a subclass of table view cells, which is contained in this guy. So this container should be, I would say it here, not only UI table view, but we need to say UI table view delegates, and also UI table view data source. Here, two things. Okay. In this case, because this second view controller is a subclass of these two, table view delegates and table view data source, there is a protocol stubs that we need to create and implement. So this guy, if I fix this, then this gives me how we can implement that the required function, which is protocol stubs. So these two functions are those required. So for a better way of coding, I want to move this to the later part of this. Okay. So here, if you see a table view, the first parameter is the table view. Parameter name is table view. This is implementation local variable, and color variable is not defined. And then the other one is a number of rows in section, and locally it is called the section, which is in integer. Okay, so we have to say here how many rows that we need to create in this view table views. That depends on the number of data, right? So we need to create here the number of data by saying variable, I would say my SQL. That SQL result comes from the server. Okay, so that is nothing but this JSON type, string, and we need to initialize that. Okay, so what I mean by that here, if I see here, this is the address sitesecure.org/json/sensor-db/sensor-to-sender-retrieve.php. This is the address that we are going to use a little later. If we see here, then this guy gives me the user ID. Let's say here, user ID, Yoon, first name is John. How many data that I posted? I posted 21 sensor data. So it gives me, this is one of those, right? One of the record. The entire here, this is entire list, so-called vector. That vector contains a dictionary. This is one dictionary, which means this dictionary has a number of key and value pair. So key is user ID, value is John. Key is fname, value is John. Yeah, and key is count, how many, and then value is 21. Okay, that type of things is that we want to use. So we want to download that. So first thing that we should say here, how many rows that we use. So it's nothing but that is MySQL, and also here it should return, right? This is the function, and function should return that is an integer. So we should say here return. What do we need to use? Return. We need to use. We need to return MySQL result. If we say MySQL result, then there is a the field name available, which is a count, right? So I can use that count. So this guy, depending upon the JSON data that is downloaded to our cell phone device, we do not know how many, right? It depends. Each time it may be different, but this guy knows. Well, as we download, if we assign that downloaded JSON data to this MySQL variable, remember the JSON data is in this format, right? That is entire, that is a list that contains a dictionary, which is a value, key and value pair. Key is a string, colon, value is in string. Okay. So we need to first download the data. As I posted on the Blackboard, there is a data that you can download. Okay, so that is I think I want to show that data. See here, this is the data, right? So I want you to copy and paste of that data and paste it here. Okay. And then again, this should be copied and then replace that here. And as you can see here, to download the number of users who posted the sensor data, we don't need to put any additional predicates. So we simply, the request is that, and we don't need to do this post data, right? We don't need to do. That is the data that can together to send out, so we don't need to do that. And then we post that. We don't have to put this data so that we can this. Okay, then we'll get the data, hopefully. Okay. And then here, in order to download this download JSON needs to be called. When this first view is opened, if that view is loaded, then we need to download it first, right? So we need to do here self download JSON. And here we need to put the code. Then we can say URL is URL already sent, right? Here to do that, and then we have the self dot this TV user sensor. TV user sensor needs to be reload the data. Here, this guy, this table view. Table view needs to yeah, right. Table view needs to load to make it possible. Then TV user sensor and delegate. That should be self. Two things that we need to do here. TV user sensor and data source. Data source needs to be self also. In that way, the sensor data can be downloaded. So at this point, we need to see how it, oops, fails. What happens? So fails? Fails. Where is the fail? Oops. That all disappeared. If it fails, then it should. Maybe this guy, we didn't do anything. That may be the reason. Then we need to do something here. Okay, then we can say let cell equals table view dot DQ reusable cell with identifier and for, right? And we, by this time we need to get let's see here, we're working on here right now. Then we need to divide this here, that, and this is a cell. ID is identifier is the CID TV view, right? So CID identifier, CID TV view, and then for this we can simply say we use this the local variable index path, and as there is nothing but TV what is name of that? TV V cell class. So TV view cell class. That is a cell, and then we can simply say cell and LB first name, last name, and number of ID, right? In this text, we need to assign, for example, self MySQL result. In that result, we need to get index path. Index path dot row. What is the index path? Index path that we say this is a variable, right? An index path. So for each SQL result, the username, the key is user ID. User ID is a key, and then first name is F name. So we can say here that use ID. That user ID needs to be assigned there. And then this guy also said table view should return table view cells. So what is the table view cell here? That is called the cell here, right? That is the table view cells. So we have return cell. Let's display user ID first. Let's see how it goes. Succeeded to go, and if you click this, let's see what happens. Does not confirm AST policies. So we need to have here app transport security. That should be defined. So what we need to do here, info property list, we need to add here see app here, app transport security settings. Click that. Okay. And inside here, no, we don't need to do this. Inside here, and then plus, and allow arbitrary load. Currently it says no, so we need to say yes, turn to yes. So these two things needs to be added: app transport security settings and allow arbitrary load. That should be required, because your app is not by default allow the external resources here. So we allow that and see how it goes. So if we click this, oh, very nicely. Last name label goes next. Oh, we have here names, right? Remember that here? That comes from our coding list here. See here, I would say I want to print, I believe that is here. I said appended and self.mysql result. So MySQL result brought that here. This is the same as our manual things here. Remember here, username Zhang, first name in Chang, count 59, John 21, Yoon, which is this one, right? Somewhere here. Okay, I want to see why it is not listed user ID first name. Oh, it's a first name. I put here first name. First name is here, first name. I think F name. And then similar things needs to be done. Here I would say LB last name. Here should be user ID. This much, and then we can see if it displays. Oops. Cannot assign. Oh, we need to put here text. Yes. So go there, yeah. So it is scrolled, right? We need to put the more, and this height needs to be changed a little more. In order to make the height, what we need to do is we need to say, we need to define here more tables. So table view height for row at, I believe this is it. And then here we can simply say code and 150. That contains user ID and this first name, and then we have here also count number of data dot text that can be assigned from MySQL, and index path dot row, and then that should be count. That is the name of the key. As you can see here, this is the name of the key, right? That's what we use. So if we run this one more time, okay, do here, oh, very nicely. So I can say John Yoon, number of sensor data posted 221. So if I click this here, I want to first hear detailed sensor data for John Yoon, and then list of those. That's what I want to do. Okay, so go back here. Actually, there are two ways that we can do from here. If I click this, then it should go next, right? Two ways that we can do, as I made in the slide. By clicking one row in the table, which is on the second view controller, two ways. First one is I can use a prepare, and another one is TableViews. If I use this prepare for this, that's what we have been using, right? So we simply use the same thing here. And then next time when we use different, rather than table views, we have a collection views, then we can use this approach. Okay, so today we will simply use the table view approaches. I mean the prepare. So okay, here prepare for that, and as we did the last time, if segue dot identifier is the same as something, then we need to do something, right? So split this on left hand side, bring that, and from here there, the segue name is seg u to d. Okay, so that's it, sg u to d, sg u to d. Okay, if I click that and sg u to d, make sure that is correct. Okay, and then we need to do let say third view is the segue dot destination as, which is list detailed data VC, right? So we need to say list detailed data VC. Okay. So what we want to do here, this guy is that, and this guy needs to be here. We need to first we need to make a variable, first name string equals that, and variable last string. Remember that why we want to do here is because when click one of this one of the row in this table view, then remember that each table view has a first name and last name. Those two names needs to be sent to the third view controllers. I want to display that here. So we need to know whose data is this, right? So first this third view is loaded, then that should be, say here, this data needs to be assigned to there. But right now we do not have anything here, right? So what I want to do here, this guy, this table view, detailed. Oh, this is the last name. This is first name. So I want to drag and drop. This should be here. So label first connect, and then this label is the last name. So I want to holding down and control this, and then label last and connect. So into this label first, for example, self.label first.text, I want to assign first, self.label last, first dot text needs to be assigned from last, and this first and last needs to be passed from the second view here, right? That's what we will do a little later. And then here we want to make a little more. Remember that the detailed data is in this format. If we send this URL with the ID, last name, and first name, then this guy gives us user ID. We don't need this, right? And then type of data, the sensor type, and sensor itself, and then sensor data, and things like that. So we're going to display some of those here. Okay. So okay. We need to make here more. So what we need to do here, a little bit of labels. So all of these labels, right? I want to make here. That is a sensor. Sensor type. And then label. These two things need to be copied. And sensor itself. I think this is sensor model. What is sensor type is, for example, if it is a temperature sensor, then type is a temperature. Model is, there are many different sensor models, right? Maybe infrared temperature sensor, or ultrasonic temperature sensors. Different models available. Specific models. For example, ST101, that is a model, and sensor type, there's a temperature sensor, and then we can say having that, and we can say sensor data and data itself. Let's put those three among many, right? We have here sensor type, for example, sensor type DMT11. This is a sensor model, LiDAR 1000, and sensor data is this. So three of those that I want to display. I believe that is it, right? And then, by the way, this sensor, last time we created a class within this, right? This time we want to create the file that is table view. This is a table view cell, but detailed cell. Detailed cell class. A little longer name, but that's fine, right? All right. And import to UI kit. Class is TVs that, and that is nothing but UI table view cell. Okay. So let's make this UI table view cell. I want to push this lower, a little bit of a hierarchies, and left hand side I want to bring up this, and I want to make sure this whole thing is a table view cell. Table view cell, and when I click this, the table view cell does not have a class name yet. So if I click this, then we have here table view detailed cell class. Okay, and then identifier here, table view cell detailed. Okay, that also changed here automatically. Having that, then we can say here, this guy, holding down control and click here, and that is a label, and then we can say type, and the next one, this label, and then label model and connect. Same thing here. LB data, LB sensor data. That is there. Okay, so when I bring this here, then all right. So this guy has again a subclass of table UI table view delegates, and then UI table view data source, and we have to fix that. And these two protocol stubs needs to be implemented here. And what I want to do, I want to make this here and left hand side, so that I want to get some idea from this already defined. So I'm going to use this same thing. So I want to do here same thing. And I want to self download. I want to have download, so I want to have download here at the bottom, copy this. Okay. Self download. That code is self dot table view. Where's my table view? Oops, don't I have table view yet? Oh, I do not have table view here yet. Okay, so what I want to do, this whole thing needs to be connected. So I can do here table view detailed sensor data. Okay, so here self table view detailed sensor data. And then I believe it reload the data. And here self TV detailed sensor data delegates should be self TV detailed sensor data source should be self. And this itself should be changed, right? So remember that here that should be URL should be changed, not this sender retrieve, but we need to have here cell data retrieve. Okay, and then this request we should put here data post data. Oh, I deleted that post data. Remember that our which I deleted, but I want to put in here from your Blackboard. Let ID equals remember that here ID equals Yoon and first name John. So ID equals name plus and n first name equals and plus first. I think this should be last, right? Last. Because we said here the first and last. So we downloaded by adding ID equals last name and first name equals first to this specific URL. Then my SQL result can be loaded according to this, and this name is also, and therefore we need to put here return self.my SQL result and then count. and then this guy, then we need to do let detailed cell equals, that is a variable, right? Well, actually constant, and this table view dot DQ reusable cell, there with identifier. Identifier is nothing but, I think this is it, right? TB detailed, TC detailed, there is identifier. So here TC detailed, and for index path TB detailed, and I want to close this. Right now, why this is missing is because this guy, this function, needs to return UI table view cell. So let's put here return detailed cell. And the detailed cell has LB I need to put here. So that is as file name is TableViews cell detailed class. Once I have, then I can see LB model and LB type. So LB type dot text should be assigned from self dot MySQL result, and then index path dot row, and then type name is S type. Similarly, detailed set LB model dot text equals self MySQL index path dot row, and then D type. Detailed set LB now data, sensor data dot text equals self MySQL result index path dot row, and then send data, which is as you can see here, send data. This is send data. And also, because that height is by default is small, so we need to put here height, and then I put 120. So 140. Okay. What else? Let's see what happens so far. Replace. So if I click this, and then if I click, for example, John Yoon, oh nice, oh here, detailed data for John Yoon, I didn't make that yet, right? So what I need to do, I need to split this, left hand side this, right hand side that. Here view did load is ready to assign that, but from here this guy wants to send it to this third view but didn't do anything, right? Here third view dot here first should be believe this is first visual, right? No, I can get it from this cell dot. Let's see here. No. I can simply get this because that is global anyway. So I can get that here. User ID. Then third view dot last. Actually, this is the last. And first is fname. This exclamation again, and oops, cancel. What happens? Right, this is not really understandable. Index view is not. So what we need to do here, this is not understood. So instead of this, we need to say here, TV user sensor, is it? I think this is right. TV user sensor dot index path for selection view row dot row. Okay, I think we need to put this everything there. Okay, so similarly, we need to take that all here. Okay, and run. So when I click this, and anyone that I can see here, wait a minute. I have John and Yun. I do not have that data. Oh, I don't have that data yet. App name. So if I click this, I want to fix this. This is easily that we can fix one by one. So I can have that. Oh, last name, first name. See what happens. This is missing. Last name is missing. Okay. So what happens? Here, I would say use ID. Oh. Goes to last name also. Last name, first name. Okay. I think it should work. Oh, nicely. Everything can be all ones. All zeros. Small data there. Yeah. Okay. Finally, when I click this, then it goes to that one's, right? So back here. List details. What I want to do, my first name and last name needs to be, it is taken here. Okay. And then here third, see dot last equals I think it should be the same way that we did. I want to put it there because this is the same thing, right? So I want to copy this. It should be third BC. Oh yeah, we don't need to do this. We simply self dot. Yeah, much simpler. First n, last n. So last n. Oh, we don't need to copy that. First n, much simpler. And make sure that is absolute. Once it goes to third and see how it goes. For example, last name Yoon and first name John, sensor data. Oh, very nice. Do this. If I do Acharya Kripesh. Acharya. I think I need to have here Acharya. Kripesh. Believe this is correct. All right. Okay, so we are done. By having this, by clicking this, we can see all the list. And if I click anyone here, Then we can see that, and motions. It doesn't move further. Oh, this already got that, right? And then when we put here the last name and first, it goes there. What it does is that, as you can see here, it goes in this way. When I click this, and it goes there, right? When I click this and go there, and when I click one of those and go bottom there and back, when I enter these names and click this, and directly go there. So directly come here. Okay, this is it.